I feel a real connection with the trees. I think sometimes I'm like one of the trees. I'm not sure trees have a brain, but trees make lots of conscious decisions where they're aware of their environment and they'll change their style to fit what's going on. But at some point, the tree knows it's spring. It gets cold, all the sap goes back into the ground because the tree just doesn't know what's going on. And it doesn't want the buds to freeze and burst. So the sap will go back in the ground. Next day it gets warm, sap comes back up, starting to work on the buds. And this is all happening when there's snow on the ground. It's February or early March. Around here, that's pretty much winter. Nothing's alive, it looks like, but this is all going on inside the trees. So the sap's going up and down, and we catch it every time it goes by. We catch some of it when it goes up, we catch some of it when it goes down. As I mentioned earlier, if you look at the woods, everything's dead, nothing's alive. When you're sugar making, you know things are alive, and you're actually working with it. You're feeling it, you're seeing it every day. And then you come back to the sugar house, you make a fire, you're standing around in steam, there's light, people are visiting, and neighbors are coming in bringing beer. If you guys are here 2 hours from now, people will come in and bring some beer, and they'll sit around telling stories. So it carries you through that time of year in a really happy, exciting spirit. The sap's coming in here right now. I reverse everything every day. But today the sap's coming in right here. And the dipper itself, it's not going to sheet right now. Well, there's a little bit of sheeting there. So if the syrup is thin, it won't hang in a sheet like that at all. Boy, that's pretty close already. You guys are good luck. These are the last 4 years. Well, this is this year's syrup so far. Each day is boiling. First day of the season, second, third, so on. You can see they've gotten pretty steadily, progressively darker, which generally is it's an effect more of temperature and weather more than the contents of the sap. Yeah. But as the season goes on, the weather warms up, it gets darker. So I hope to fill this before we're done, but it looks like the way it might get up into the 70s, I just heard, this Saturday, and that'll be the end. It's April and 70 degrees. The trees are going to switch over to leaves. I've heard that a young tree will produce sweeter sap. But I don't test the individual trees. As I mentioned, I don't want to start disliking any tree, so I don't test the sap. Some of the I don't want to develop a bias. That's me. Oh, look at that! Go to Hollywood with that one. Yeah. Syrup and cheese mean more than they probably should to most Vermonters. It really has a meaning. For me personally, it's a big part of who I am to myself and in my community. A lot of people stop by quite often, especially when I'm boiling in the evening and everybody's home from work. It's a real, it is kind of a community thing, and I think it's exaggerated. It probably maybe it's because we need something like that, so we'll latch on to what we do have that can pull us together as a community. It's all about the trees. It's all about the trees. Well, this is adding up nicely. Mm-hmm. The spring season is moving. We're losing the end of winter. It's moving. It's warming up. is the simple answer. I don't know if it's warming up overall, but winter is ending earlier, and it's a real clear progression. And on my chart, it takes off in 1995 to till now, it really accelerates. We used to make a lot of syrup in April. We used to make half of our syrup in April, and now we make no syrup in April. In the last 10 years, we only made syrup maybe once or twice in April. And it used to go to the 15th or 16th or 17th of April routinely, just 15, 20 years ago, and now it doesn't. The weather, it's too warm. By April 1st, it's too warm. Its season's over. It's a real global change. Climate change is a real threat to maple. But when you get down to West Virginia, there's some maples, this type of maple in West Virginia and southern Quebec, and that's it. And out to Ohio. And on a global scale, that's a small area for a tree. And they will not grow. Thomas Jefferson really wanted to establish sugar maples in Virginia, and they just won't live there. But if the trees can't migrate north fast enough, the climate is warming way faster than maples can move. And apparently they're already dying out on the southern edge. And they can't, it takes 100 years for a seed to fall 100 feet and a new tree to grow. They're not going to move north fast. So if the climate warms up a little bit, maples are gone.